Alright, okay, so I think we're going. I think we're airing and live and everything. Hello everybody, my name is Mercury Addison. I am a writer artist, and today I'm going to be working on the background of this art exchange that I'm doing with my friend Do Whatever. These are the 5 main characters from her webcomic, and as you can see, I've already drawn all of them and done their flat colors and everything. And she's going to be doing the 3 main characters of my upcoming webcomic that I'm hoping to publish in late April or early May. So I don't really anticipate getting any viewers today. Do Whatever has been invited to join the live stream if she wants to. But from the start, I had concepted these live streams as a perk for potential Ko-Fi subscribers. And I don't yet have any Ko-Fi subscribers, but hopefully in the future. I'm kind of just getting this all set up so that in the future, as I start trying to build a name for myself, people will be able to support my content and get some perks from it. So I've got the 5 characters already. Their line work is done. The flat colors are placed. But before I finish their lighting, today I'm going to be working on the background because that's going to affect the way that I do the lighting of the characters themselves. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is disappearing all of the characters so that I can just focus on making the background. So I kind of have a bit of a thing here that I've plotted out based on some screenshots that I had seen from Do Whatever's comic. So I've got the bare bones kind of plotted out. It doesn't seem to me wait, I need to kind of fix this up so I can see the chat if it's possible. Hey, I'm here. Oh, you're really sick? Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. That really sucks. But yeah, that totally distracted me. From what I've seen, you don't really have a specific layout for the control panel that is like kind of canonized, I should say. But judging from some screenshots that I had taken, this is kind of the bare bones basic layout of the control panel. So that's going to be a big feature today. But so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing this background. So first things I need to do, oh, you know what, oh yeah, okay, that's good. First thing I need to do is I'm gonna make this window here. I'm gonna start by doing maybe a 2.6 pen, that might work. And I'm just going to make a nice big oval, and then I'm going to just sort of place it, turn it and place it where I want it to be. So maybe right around there. Maybe I'll make it a little bit rounder. And this is going to be for the main window. I think that looks good. I definitely didn't think about consistency when doing the control panel layout. That's fair. That's totally fine. So that'll mean that I just have freedom to kind of make it however I want to make it. So that's going to be fun for me. So I got that placed. That's going to be a pretty good window, I think. And now I'm going to just copy this and paste it and make it bigger. And this is going to serve as the sort of like walls of this like little conclave thing. But it's going to be a little bit off center because of the perspective. So that should be good. However, I do think both of these lines are too thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select them, contract by just 1 pixel. Let's try that. And then, see, that's too thin. So never mind, I'm not going to do that. I probably should have just done 2 instead of 2.6. In fact, I might actually just do this again. Starting over a little bit. So going to my pen and bringing it down to 2, because I don't want the lines to be too thick for a background. So I'm just going to make this oval. Maybe that's a little bit in the wrong spot. Make an oval. Kind of turn it around a little bit. Get it where I want it to be. Right around there is good. And then I'm going to copy and paste it again like I did last time. Just make it bigger to make it kind of a groove that goes in. Okay, so that's pretty simple. That's just nice and easy. But now the control panel, I'm going to kind of move it a little bit because I need it to fit right in here. And then I'm going to just kind of shape it around to fit the new window. Oh, I need free transform. Right, I think that looks okay. So I'm going to make this even more transparent because I'm trying not to copy paste. Since this is just such a rough sketch, I don't need it to be exact. In fact, it would be badly done if it was exact because it's not gonna be the right proportion. So let's see. I might just go right into the middle of where it should be, right here, and then go like that. Just to kind of shape this out. See, that's not quite right. Let's try this, just to shape it. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Let's see here. This is going to be one of those things that really trips me up in terms of wanting my perfectionism to take over, because this is not a good shape. Let's see here though. I can kind of try to shape it out a little bit like this. Oh, whoops. My program is not the best. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to try this again. And I'm going to redo the line once I have the shape that I want. It's all just a matter of making it look right. See, that just doesn't look quite right. Maybe if I try to switch my view a little bit. The chairs were the hardest part to draw, I think. I had to communicate Milkshake and Cowboy's height difference even when they were sitting down, so Cowboy's chair often looks too big for him. That makes sense. I went the wrong way. And see, that's too much of a flip. I need to be able to see this at a perfect, exact thing. That's not working. So I'll just kind of, maybe instead of trying to follow this path, I'll just actually try to freehand it. So let's see here. Well, not freehand it, but eyeball it, I mean. So if this is like the exact center, then I'm just going to go like this for the control panel. And see how that looks. I think that looks okay. That looks good enough. Alright. So I'm going to erase this part of it. And the same over here. Let's see here. So now I need it to come out from the wall because this is the very back of it. So maybe I'll start right around here. And this doesn't need to be as curved, but it needs to be more curved than this. I think that looks okay. So connect these two lines. And then kind of connect this to nothing over here. I think that might be a little bit too... And that's not far enough. Okay. I need to kind of go in a little more like this maybe, just to get the perspective to look right. I think I need to go even farther to the side. That looks better. All right, so now I'm going to erase this part here. Now I'm going to try to make sure I get my perspectives right. Okay. I'm going to pull this one right down here. Pull this down here. And then just kind of connect it like that. I think that looks fine. And then I'm going to just do the same over here, connect it down like that. You know what? I don't think that looks fine. It doesn't look quite right. I need it to be a little bit straighter this way. This one almost needs to be curved because it's supposed to be in this like curved wall sort of thing. And then it can go straight from there. Let's see here. There we go. I also wanted to try and indicate a difference in age and model with Cowboy and Danny's ships. Danny's ship is all controlled with an iPad-like screen, while Cowboy's ship has a full control panel. Yeah, that makes sense. It's pretty fun design, I think. I think that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to find the right lines. Here we go. And erase the ones down here. The control panel is in front of them, so that's good. All right, next I'm going to get my pen sharp tool, because this is supposed to, in my head I'm going to make it so that this kind of starts here. Oh, where am I? There we go. It starts right about here, but it doesn't stay even with the back. I just think it would be kind of cool if like the back of it was a bit of it like an indent in the window sort of thing. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to make that look right. Oh, see, I need to start a little bit wider out so that I can see the whole picture as I do this. Okay. Alright, so around there and just kind of smoothing it out. And right around there. I think, yep, I did that on the wrong layer. I'm going to cut this and kind of shape it out a little bit differently. Kind of just mess with it a little bit to make sure it's doing what I want it to do and it looks right. I think that looks cool. So that's going to be an indicator that this back part is kind of like a bit of a dashboard kind of thing between the control panel and the window here. All right, so let me just try to remember the layout here that I had kind of pieced together from some screens. I'm just going to move it like this so that I can have a reference now without it being too intrusive to the drawing. So I'm just going to put it like that. Erase some of this stuff here so that it's not in my way. All right. I know there's a viewing screen kind of in the center here, so I'll start there. kind of go like that, maybe. Oh, I'm on the wrong pen. And the wrong layer. Okay, let's see here. Actually, this might help if I did something just kind of like this and then transformed it. So make it smaller and then free, transform. Start by getting it centered pretty well, I think. It's the most important part. And then I'm going to shape it so that it looks like it's actually kind of on the panel instead of just like pasted on top of it. Let's see, that might, I think that's okay. These things aren't very symmetrical. They're not as symmetrical as I'd like them to be. I think I need to just make the bottom part here a little bit farther out like that. Let's see how that works. See, no, that just doesn't look right either. Now I'm going to transform this upper corner a little bit. And now I need this back corner. It's just not quite putting a square panel in a curved dashboard is kind of just a little bit tricky to do, especially at an angle. So now, however, I've got it placed, so I'm going to just take this tool and block it out. And there we have it. And then, since I like to go overboard with a little bit of detailing sometimes, let's do one here. And let's make it so that the screen looks like it's sort of embedded into the console. Just to give it a little bit of depth there. And taking it one step further, I'm just going to connect these corners. And I'm going to be weird about my screen and not have it where it needs to be. There we go. All right. So then we have a control screen. And I think for fun, I might kind of do this thing. I'm kind of thinking this would be fun. So I'm going to try to get a good font here. Impact is fine, that works. And let me... center text. Let's try 3. Let's go bold. Maybe let's not go bold. Maybe let's do 4. And let's make the line spacing a little bit lower. So I'm going to copy the text, paste it. And transform. So first off, let's get the top line kind of where I need it to be. And then let's get the bottom lines where I need them to be. And now let's just kind of try to make this actually look like it's actually on the screen. It's not quite doing what I want it to do. There, that might work. And then let's just make it a little bit thinner so that we can really just see how it all plays out. I'm being too much of a perfectionist. I want it to look right. Sorry. Let's actually make this just a little bit narrower as well. Yeah, I think that looks not perfect, but it's not perfect. I need to keep working on it a little bit. I need it to be better. That looks better. Okay. All right, cool. So now I'm just going to leave that there because I'm going to take care of the rest of that in coloring. I'm going to make sure that it looks all good and looks good in coloring. But so I'm going to have that there. Let's take a look at the control panel here. So there's a joystick over here, so let's do the joystick next. All right, let's see here. I don't know if I've ever actually drawn a joystick before. That's something that maybe I should have gathered some references for to look at or something. But you know what? I'm just going to wing it. So I'm going to start by drawing a handle here. And maybe I'll kind of make it so that the handle kind of has like a bit of like a softer grip or something. And then I'm going to put a bit of a casing here. That looks good. And a little bit of something here. And it's going to disappear into a groove track. So now I'm just going to copy and paste that. Slide them both together like so. Clean up this image a little bit. I'm going to melt it down and then I'll clean up the image a little bit. There we go. I think this is looking like a pretty nice, easy joystick. Maybe I'll kind of give the illusion of like finger grooves. Like they had really, when they first made this thing, maybe they had kind of plotted it to be held by hands, and so they did like finger grooves in the grip or something. Alright, so that's that. So I'm gonna close up the thing here so it's like it's disappearing into the console. And now I'm going to position this. Where do I want it exactly? I think this would be a good spot. And then I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller on this side. So that, and you know what? I think it needs to be a little narrower. That's a much better grip than the one I drew. Well, you know, it's just, since your art style is very, very clean, very simple, not a lot of details necessary, it fits better to have it be just a little more simple of a thing. Whereas with my style, everything needs to be just a little bit more like realistic. Not really. It's still kind of cartoony, but in like a different kind. So I just in my head I need it to be just a little bit more detailed. However, I'm not going to worry about drawing over it, even though it's really fuzzy now, because with it being a background, it's okay if things are a little bit fuzzy in the line work. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. I think that's a good spot for it. I'm going to erase, where is it? Where's the line that I'm looking for? There we go. Erase some of this line here. I think that looks fine. Sorry, my mouse is starting to freak out a little bit. Okay, now I'm back to here. You know what, I'm going to save real quick. Alright, let's see. So there's like 3 big buttons that I had noticed over here, but since they're not like set in stone that everything is exact, I'm just going to kind of wing it a little bit. I'm gonna use my imagination here for this. So first I'm going to draw the buttons. I'm going to draw some three nice buttons. Maybe I'll go down to 1.5. I feel like my line work is a little bit blocky for this. I don't want it to be this blocky. Am I on? Nope, I'm not on a new layer. Okay. So I'm going to do 3 big buttons. So I want that to look, right now I'm just gonna draw them in a straight line and make them look about even. And now I'm going to position them the way that I want them positioned. Right about there would probably be good. And then I'm gonna make the side a little bit bigger here so that it's kind of like it's got a good perspective thing going on. I think that looks good. I said okay, thank you. I'm gonna copy and paste, move them down a little bit like this. Erase, erase, erase. And I think that I actually need to transform these ones just a little bit to kind of make them the proper, you know what, that's not working out. I think it's just, what am I doing? I think it's this one. This one in particular just needs a little bit of better positioning here, just because it's a little bit bigger and a little bit closer to the edge. All right, I think that's fine. Now I'm not trying to waste too much time on this stuff. You know what? It doesn't look right. It does not look like they're in a good position. I'm going to transform these again. That looks better, but I think I made one of these too far away from the others. I just need it to be close to about like 1 pixel. Yeah, that's better. And now, down here, I kind of want there to be something down here. Just a little something for them to have switches or something that they need to flip. So maybe what I'll do, I've got an idea here. Too big. Okay. I'm going to just make one straight line like this. That's good. And then I'm going to make a switch. Actually, wait. First I'm going to just put 4 of these in a row. This one is a little bit higher, I think. No, they're all the same. There we go. I think that looks fine. So now I'm going to make a switch or a lever of some sort. So I'm going back down to 1.5 maybe. Just sort of draw a little something like this. I think that looks pretty good. So yeah, that's looking pretty nice. All right, now I'm going to merge those down. And now I'm going to erase the things behind them. And now it looks like a nice bit of a switchboard, I think. Whoops. All right, so now to do the same trick of just transforming it to be kind of how about I want it to be. Maybe have them a little skinnier here. That might be a good idea. And does that look fine? I think that looks pretty good. Maybe if I had been planning a little bit better, I could have made these switches a little bit in more perspective, but that's okay. I'm just gonna kind of add a little bit of lining here to make it look like they're a little more full than they are, just to kind of give the illusion of like a side of it and a shadow and stuff. I think that looks pretty good. I think these buttons are not as dark as they need to be, but that's a little bit too light. That looks better. That's cool. All right, now let's see here. Over here we had some buttons down here and then something. I don't remember what was up here. We had some buttons down here, so I'll make a round of buttons. It's gonna be easy enough, and I want them to be smaller than those ones, so I'm just gonna get a button, kind of just make a grid of them. Maybe I'll do 4, and then I'll just do like 3 down here below them. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. All right. Now I'm going to position them like so. Give them a little bit of perspective here, because we could all use a little perspective sometimes. Bad jokes are bad. And these ones don't need to be too thick. I'll kind of just lower it down a bit like that. Just erase the interior parts here. I think that's good. And there we have it, just some more nice little buttons. Honestly, I think I kind of want them to be a little smaller, to be honest. So let's just make them a bit smaller here. And just put them down like this. Free transform. And actually, let's separate these a little bit. So now it comes time to be a perfectionist and to place them individually on the board where I want them. I also might be doing them too far away, but I can move them around as I see fit once I have them all separate from each other. Alright, so now they're all separated. So, alright, now I'm going to select the layer at a clicked point. Oh, and that means I need to turn off the white background so that I don't accidentally start just moving the background around. Just kind of putting these, kind of moving them around where I want them. I think that looks okay. So now to find where it all is. Cool. All right. Now there was something up here, and I don't remember what I had seen. It was kind of just like this long oblong thing up here. Not sure what I want to put there. Maybe? Okay, I've got an idea. I know what I'm going to do. Alright, so I want a bit of an oblong thing here. And then maybe another one just right above it to give it a bit of an indentation thing. Square it off. So it looks like a screen. And then maybe I'll do like some kind of like radio wave thing. So I'll put like a bass line or something. Oh. Bass line, like it's picking up like a radio frequency or something like that. So then I was kind of... Oh, I'm on the wrong tool. And I don't care if this doesn't look like radio frequencies or anything. It's unimportant. So now to once again just kind of oh, I'm not in the... I didn't merge it all down. There we go. There we go. So now I'm going to place this on the dash and kind of just fix it up, make it look better. I think it needs to be a little bit down like this. And actually, wait. By the time we're over here, I need to be moving my things around a little bit more like this instead of the other way around, because it needs to be on par with this side of it, since it's a curved thing. I need to be careful about that. I think that looks okay. It's not quite what I want though. Maybe, oh, you know what? Maybe if I actually do it like this, so it's almost like it was actually built into the curve somewhat. That might be what I'm looking for. No, it's still not quite what I'm looking. Still not what I want. Well, maybe like this. That looks terrible. All right, let's try this. Let's try this again. Let's see here. It's all just a matter of figuring out the tiny little adjustments that I need to make it look good to my eyes. I think that looks okay. I need this corner to be a little bit smaller, I think. I'm going to have to clock out of the stream to sleep my sick off. Sorry. No worries. You can take your time. You're sick. You don't need to be here. It's okay. So have a good rest and take care of yourself. Let's see here. Still just kind of moving things around the way I want them. I think that looks a little better. I kind of need the joystick to be actually... No, you know what? I have to kind of leave the joystick where I did because I put the line there. Goodbye. Over here we just got a few things. It looked like there was a couple more screens. Maybe I'll do that over here in the middle. So I'll take this and kind of just give some small screens. I think that'll be good. Yeah, I'm liking that one. I'm kind of thinking that this would be like a readout of stuff that's going on or something like that. Alright. Now to place it. First I need to make it smaller, way smaller. And now for the perspectives. I think that looks good. Maybe make it a little smaller again. Oh shit. Was not thinking ahead of time about this. That's okay, we've got this. Okay. Looks a little sloppy. What I need to do here, what I need to do is just make it so that my opacity is a little lower. That looks passable. Okay, so that's just going to be some screens. That's what I meant to do. I am going to move them a little bit. Put them a little over here, maybe. And actually, that means that I want to transform them just a little bit more. So I didn't need to move that thing after all. Actually, I do kind of want them like that, but I need them to be a little bit twisted up, just a little bit moved. Just a little more like that. I think that looks better. Yeah, okay. So there should be a little something in between here. I wonder what I'll put here. I could do something. I've got buttons, I've got readouts, I've got switches. I've got a joystick thing. Maybe over here. I don't know. I don't know what I'll put over here. I just need something to be between these screens here. Although actually I do need these screens to be a little darker, so that's good. Just put something. Just gotta figure out what I want to put. I don't know. I'm trying to remember, like, okay, in Star Trek everything is touch panels. I mean, in Next Gen at least, everything is touch panels. Maybe I'll try to do something kind of... I don't want to just keep adding more and more buttons. That doesn't feel right to me. But I don't want to just sit here and do nothing at all. I'll come back to this. I'll revisit this. There was like 2 big buttons over here. I think I can just take care of that pretty easily. It's nice big buttons. Kind of like that meme of like the guy who's freaking out because he doesn't know which of the 2 buttons to press. I've used that meme for so many things. Being like, nobody just understands things. Seems sometimes the choice should be obvious and it isn't. For some reason, nobody understands. Nobody knows the choices they want to make. I think that looks fine. You know what? I ought to be checking and seeing where Cowboy is positioned because he's supposed to be reaching for stuff. Okay. It can just be that it looks like he's still kind of like trying to reach. I think I had my original background. I had it a little bit higher up. So, I mean, obviously right now it's way higher up, but I had it a little higher up. But that's okay. So Cowboy still looks okay. He looks like he's reaching for something. Alright. Now to lastly try to find something to put in here. I've got plenty of buttons, switches, joystick, sliders, levers, that sort of thing. Maybe I'll kind of try. Okay. I've got a plan. I know what I want. I know what I want to do. So I'm going to start with something like this. And now I'm going to why don't you is this layer? Nothing? Okay. Now I'm going to make another one of these. Going lengthwise like this. Too big. Just needs to be right around like this. Select. Contract by, let's say, 2 round corners. Delete. Actually, let's contract by 1. Contract by 1. Delete. There we go. That looks better. Now, a small one. Contract by 1. Delete. Erase. Copy, paste. Put over here. Build it down. Move it up. Oh, not that. I'm on my select a layer and clicked point tool. Okay. Put it in the upward position maybe. Kind of like it's been switched already. And now we erase this part of it here. This here. And this here. Whoa. I accidentally selected my other tab. Okay. Kind of fix this up a little bit like this. I'm thinking that looks pretty good. So merge it down. Oh, so I need the, that's what I need to merge down. Okay, and now place it. Fix the perspective. Actually, I did that really stupidly. That was really stupid of me. I'm going to do this a little bit different. So I'm just going to draw it again, but over it. So first I'm going to do this lever thing. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer again. Do the lever. Kind of fix the perspective just a tiny little bit. I have to get off this tool. Otherwise, it's not going to let me actually see what I'm doing. Okay. Select. Contract. Delete. Now I'm going to move this actually. Right around it up like this. And honestly, I don't really need to do the whole little contract thing. I can just kind of go down with a smaller pen like that. That is much better. Okay. And then I'll even kind of go in like this so that it's actually like it's in shading here. I should have done this on a new layer, but that's okay. I'll just take care of this. Copy and paste. Move it here. Okay. Actually, I need it to be even a little bit still like that. That's better. And I actually do need this to be a little bit back to where it was, so I'm not going to just copy and paste this. I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to move this back like this. Take the pen sharp and kind of go like that to make it look like there's a bit of an edge there. Fix this up. Merge these down. And then I'm going to erase the stuff that I did because I did this really stupid. This was not how I should have done this. That looks much better. There we go. All right, that looks really good, I think. Or at least it looks better than the last one did. It's still not quite perfect, but I don't care. Well, it's not that I don't care as much as that it's just I'm like, it's not as important that every tiny little detail look exactly perfect. The important thing is to get the background, you know, made. Alright, so now we have to do the chairs. Alright. I think I'm gonna just do one because I need it to be in front of the other, in front of some of this stuff. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call that I need to ignore. Okay, cool. Alright. Let's see, doing a chair. Looking at this, it's kind of just a basic standard chair with a headrest, so I'm going to make this a little bit transparent so that I can draw in front of it. I'll start by drawing the headrest. Okay, let's see here. That's dumb. I think what I should do is I should do that other trick that I do of kind of just building a silhouette and then removing things from it. That looks good enough. So contract, let's do 2. And then another. Contract, let's do 2. And then, and this is kind of all that I'm going to need. So contract, let's do 2. All right. And I'm just gonna close this up. This tiny last little bit here. So we have a chair, at least like a front view of it, or a back view, I should say. Oh, I'm on my wrong tool again. Okay, there we go. Let's transform, so we'll make it smaller. Then we're gonna kind of just free transform. Go like that. Bend it a little bit. This will actually be good. I should have thought of this before I started making all these buttons and everything, but that's okay. It'll just hide some of them. And that's fine with me. All right. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna erase this stuff here. This is just so that I can get the idea of the chair. The basic plot of it, I guess you could say. And this will make it easy for me to actually put it together myself. All right. Cool. All right, so let's see here. I'm gonna do my curve tool. I want it on 2 maybe. I'll start with the headrest. So this is gonna be a pretty straightforward line here, so I'm gonna start here. I'm just gonna make it come down. And then come across here like this. Do this outside part of it. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. I'm gonna do that again. So I'm gonna come down here like this. Do an outside. Clicked the wrong spot. Do a bit of an outside thing here. And then I'm going to come in with a pen sharp tool and kind of just give it that bit of depth. It doesn't look amazing, but it looks fine. And that's okay, because this is supposed to be kind of like a beat up old junk ship anyway. So now I'm going to come back here and do this again. I'm going to start here. Oh, wait, you know what? I'm not going to start there. I'm going to start here and come across like that. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Cut across down here. Cut across like that. Do the outside. And then I'm going to come in with a pen sharp tool. Stop it. Kind of go in a little bit like this, just to kind of give it a little bit of depth there. And just come across like that. And then finally, one last pass down here. I just have to do a line like this. One line here like, let's give this one a tiny bit of a curve as well. And then one here. I think that looks like a passable chair. And it's kind of like it's on a curve, like it's not where it's supposed to be. Alright, I think that turned out pretty well. So now I'm going to erase this part of the panel in front of it. And I think that that's good enough, and we can have that be the line work for this. What is this layer? This is an empty layer. Okay. I didn't mean to accidentally put the gravity off there. That's not what it's supposed to be. This is just a placeholder for me to use later while I'm doing coloring here. So I'm going to just remove that and put it like this. Alright, so real quick, one thing I need to do is just go grab a quick screenshot from do whatever's art so that I can get the color picking that I need. So just bear with me here. Let's see here. Sorry about the dead, nothing going on in the screen as I'm trying to find my thing. I have to go to the site and grab a picture. I meant to do this before I started the stream. I was just running really late today, so I need to get a chapter 1, or maybe a chapter 2 probably would be better, so that I can get some of the interior of Cowboy's ship. And then I'll be able to color pick for the base colors before I start actually doing all of the, shading and everything like that. Let's see here. It's kind of difficult to navigate the site. It's really hard to see everything in this background. Alright, I'm just going to try to scroll down. Come on. Okay, let's try this. My computer is running really slowly right now. In fact, you know what? I need to save this while I'm thinking about it. Save. It's not a good chapter. Chapter 2. Will that show me anything? No. I don't know if I'm just not good at this or anything, but I cannot navigate these sites. I really ought to have done all this beforehand. I need my screenshots. I don't have any screenshots planned. I meant to do this so that I could just have it nice and easy to just color pick what I need. And it is not working out for me. Why can't I just not find chapters? Okay, this is not doing what I need it to do. I just want a single chapter that I can see a screenshot of the interior of the ship. But my computer is taking forever to load everything. It's doing that thing where it will like take 100 years for any single link to actually load. I feel like at this point it would have been faster if I had just randomly decided to pick colors. I'm also getting an error message that YouTube is not recording my thing. Why? Whatever. If this all doesn't work, if this just stops working, then that's okay. And I still cannot find a chapter that shows me a good interior shot of the ship. Okay, wait, this might be promising. Yeah, it looks like it's mainly just like a purple sort of thing. Alright, let's see here. Okay, now I've got it. That's fine. It took me way too long to do that. I should have had all this planned out beforehand. I was not as prepared as I needed to be. I'm gonna do a little darker. Okay. And then let's go something like this maybe. Just to give it a little bit of color variation. I feel like I thought that the walls were kind of pink, and I'm not sure why. Let's kind of do that. Let's lean into that a little bit. Let's kind of make it so that the walls are pink. Oh, stop. It doesn't need to be exact because the stuff is going to be pretty kind of faded out and blurry and everything. I just kind of need it all to be around the same color. Okay, now to kind of just get it all made pretty well. Fill out all the little tiny pieces. Okay. So first I'm going to come down here and I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to fill it all out. So just kind of fill that. And I'm going to use this darker purple color to do most of this stuff, at least most of the shading here. Oh, I need to pay a little more attention to this stuff here. Just to get it all nice and filled out, smooth, without any of this choppy, fuzzy stuff. Just get this all nice and taken care of. Make it look pretty. Fill out these lines. Sorry for all the dead air and the silence and the not doing anything for a little while I was looking for screenshots. I will become better at this sort of thing. It's like not only just art, but just like live streaming in general. I'll become better at it as time goes on. Right now, one of the reasons why I'm kind of doing all of this in such a monochromatic color scheme is so that it will not detract from the art of the characters themselves. I need all this to sort of blend together and look kind of like it's just something that's going on in the background. Just gives it a little bit of color interest without taking away too much focus from the main scene. So that's kind of why I'm doing it like this. I know that in real life this would probably have more gray accents, more silver, more chrome. But we're not in real life. We are, well, I mean I am, but this is not real life. This is just a little drawing. And so in the drawing, it's all going to be the same kind of basic colored background. And this is just going to make so that the characters really just like come alive off the screen. And they just really pop. I'm going to introduce a little bit of color variation here though, after I'm done with this part here. Actually, I don't want that. I kind of want this part to be a little more lighter color. And I'll just have it so that this part is darker. This part is darker. And this part is darker. But the rest of that is going to be a bit different. Kind of make the buttons have dark edges here. I want this to have a dark edge going on. Just to get it all nice and deep and make it look like it's really in the control panel as opposed to just sort of like sitting on top of it. Just little edges of the buttons. Alright, I think that looks good. Oh, we need a little something here. Alright, so now I'm going to take this pink and now I'm going to go through that, and that's where I'm going to do just a little bit of color variation here so that it'll be nice and matchy, but at the same time you'll really just be able to, your eyes will know what is what without having to worry about making sure everything looks exactly perfect. I'm going to clean up a little edges here. And now I'm going to continue on with these buttons here. And the rest of those are going to be like readouts, so they're going to be a little bit different. Alright, so I am going to, next up, I'm going to first move that thing. I'm going to come down here. Actually, no, I'm going to pull up like this. Put it up here. Get a sort of a paler pink here. Fill in these. Fill in this. Alright, so I'm going to Gaussian blur and just kind of do it like this. And that will just sort of like give it the illusion of being a light source. So actually first I'm going to put this under the readouts. I think that looks maybe even more like under here like that. So that's the first bit. But now I'm going to do this again with an even bigger Gaussian blur. Like that. Just to give a little bit of a glow. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. I do want to add just a little bit of white to really sell that it's glowing, that this is light. That's nice. However, now we deal with the head of this chair, because it's so far in front of it that it wouldn't actually be getting all of this light just like that. Maybe it would just get a tiny little bit like this that'll blur out here. There. So now we've got the computer screens. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. So they're just kind of be sitting there. But now we do the next one. Now I want this screen to be a warning screen, so it's going to be red. Brighter red than that. It's supposed to be red light. So we're going to need that. Nice. I'm thinking that that looks pretty good. Pen, transparent. And just kind of go like, oh, no, that didn't work. That line is not straight enough. Kind of like that, and like this. And now kind of blur some of this a little bit. Oh, I'm on the wrong tool. Oh, still on the wrong tool. What's wrong with me? So that just kind of makes it look a little more like a computer screen right out. Alright, so I'm going to take this, and first off, I'm going to kind of maybe blur it a little bit. Actually, you know what? I think it's already kind of blurred the way that it needs to be. So I'm going to copy this and put it up here, though. Gaussian blur, like so. And once again, actually, that's not what I want to do. I've got a better idea. So I'm going to first make this visible, turn it white, and now I'm going to make this have a bit of a Gaussian blur itself, so that it's like the words themselves are kind of glowing. And this is not actually what I'm looking for here, but it's getting, it's okay. It's coming out. I think what I need to do is I need to have this be brighter and bigger and really glow. But then I need to do that thing that I did earlier. Give it just a little bit of a white glow in the center. But I don't want to overtake the words, so I don't want to do too much of it. I think that's looking okay. That's looking pretty good, actually. So now I'm going to know that that's where I want the light to be coming from for some of these things. But next, let's see. Okay. Next up is going to be doing space. So I'm going to start with just a plain back black emptiness going on here. Now, I do, for the way that I do stars is pretty simple. I have this like scatter brush, sparkle brush thing. So I'm just gonna do some big stars, and then I'm gonna make it smaller. And do some little stars. And then even smaller for some really smaller stars. And this just gives a bit of a variation so that it looks more like, you know, actual like space. So now I'm going to take these, copy and paste them, do a little bit of a blur here. And this is just going to make it look like they're shining and like glowing and that sort of thing. Do it again. Now I'm gonna real quick save. I'm gonna take one of these purples and I'm going to get a big airbrush on a low opacity but a wide brush. I'm gonna go under the stars and kind of just give some color here, just to give a little bit of space. Yeah, it's just nice and real soft, and it kind of just makes it look kind of more vast. And it also helps to blend in with the rest of this background. So that's pretty cool, I think. I might lower the opacity here because I don't want it to be too bright. I think that's good. So I'm just going to drop that down, drop that down. Okay. So now I'm going to start doing some of the shading on this actual ship, on the control panels and all that sort of thing. Okay, so let's see here. Let's start with this chair. Let's give it a little more depth here. Actually, first what I'm going to do, what I'm going to start is I'm going to set a layer to multiply, and then I'm going to find, let's do this pink color, and then let's just take a giant pen and just see what these colors look like. Yeah, that's actually really nice. But maybe I'll do a little bit less pink and a little more purple. And I also need it to be just a bit darker because I need the light to really pop. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking that's looking pretty good. So now I'm going to take it off multiply so that I can color pick it. Delete that. New layer on multiply. And now I'm just going to start shading. Alright, so let's see here. Let's try doing some airbrushing first and seeing how that works out for me. Alright, let's see here. I don't think that was working out for me. I need to be able to make this a little bit more controlled. Okay, so let's see here. So that this way I can just blur what I need to and what I want to blur without having to worry about doing too much, like messing up or the muddying the edges and things like that. So yeah, this is better. This is better. and this also means that I'll be able to do like crevices and little shadows like there, like that. That's perfect. Beautiful. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Maybe I'll even kind of go out a little bit from this curvature. Like so. And then kind of tuck this in here under that. Maybe erase it a little bit. And blur it out. That's looking good. I kind of want to erase some of this though. I need to give it just a little bit of a, like a scattering effect sort of thing going on. And then I can blur all this out. Really just make it nice. My phone is going off. Why is my phone going off? Sorry, I just need to check my notifications here. Absolutely nothing of importance. Okay, cool. So we got the chair. Now let's continue on with the control panel here. I kind of feel like I want to do something a little easy for this one here. Okay, I've got a plan. So, trusting the process with this a little bit. I'm just gonna use the airbrush on the main part here. Erase everything outside of it. Erase all of it on this chair. Alright, and then merge it down so it's part of the multiply layer. And we got a little bit of a mess up here. That is easily fixed. No problemo at all. Just kind of push it in. Cool. So that's good. So now we got that. I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'm just going to take the airbrush and go in like this maybe. Yeah. Good. And then I'm just going to erase all of this here. Erase it like this. So that it's just this bit of it. Come in here and fix this tiny bit here. And then merge it down so it is shaded. Now let's do the same to the walls. So, nice big airbrush. Kind of going around the window so that it looks like the window is getting some light from like space and stuff. I'm trying to figure out the exact right kind of brush shape that I want for this. I suppose it doesn't matter too much. It doesn't need to be perfect. I'm just trying to get it the way that I want it to be. And then I'm just going to close it up here and close it up here, as if there's a little bit of shading going on. Now, to just erase all of this extra stuff here. Why am I doing it like this? I'm not being very smart right now. There's a much faster way to just get rid of what you don't want. Like, seriously, I was doing that so dumb. Another reason why I'm doing the framing like this with this ship like this is because I felt like it would just be a nice sort of way to have it be like a frame for the characters, if you will. So having all of this beautiful like pink and dark purple and everything, it's gonna really give the characters a lot of a chance to have their own colors really pop and just be really pretty on the scene. Not that this color is actually going to be as pink as it is, because now I'm just going to do one last little bit of pass of deleting some of the excess color that I don't want. Yeah, so we merge it down, and now it's that nice darker color. Like the light, it's like cold light is kind of like pouring in a little bit. Not especially cold, but just like it's kind of gonna pull out like that. And then we do again. There's a nice big airbrush, kind of going in like this. Same over here. I'm getting a little bit too. I'm not finding the exact right line that I want. There we go. That's good. That's good. And here and here. And merge that down. And that's just really giving some nice bit of depth there. So now we do the rest of the control panel. This is going to be where it starts getting kind of more fun, I think. All right, so okay. First off, I'm gonna do okay. I'm just still making my plans, coming up with what I'm doing. So first, I'm going to take this and kind of start here, and do a curved tool thing going on here. As you can see, my laptop does not like what I'm doing right now. And now I'm going to come through and just kind of like deepen it a little. I need to be a little wider so that I can see the whole picture of what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. That's better. deepen this to really make it clear that the thing is kind of a bumper. It's not just flat, it's really the here. Okay, so now I'm going to remove all of this background stuff here so that I can fill it in. Shit. Okay. That's too much intolerance. Okay. Let's see here. Just gonna fill this in by hand for this part then. And now we're going to bring this all back. And blur this out. Just to create a real nice shadow here. And this is just going to make it real smooth. And it's also blending really well because we're doing the multiplied layer thing. So it's just really, really turning out nice, I think. But now, in order to really sell that this stuff is light and it's lit up and everything, I'm going to come through with the eraser and really low opacity and just kind of mess with the shadows here. As if this is just so bright that it kind of blends through the shadows. Same over here. I think that's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to erase this part of it here. Just get it off of this thing. That's turning out pretty good. Okay. So now, let's do a little bit of fun shadow kind of thing over here. So let's kind of go like this. And kind of, oh, I'm on the wrong brush. Kind of go here maybe. Just kind of brush this like that. And then erase. Brush like that. And then erase. Brush it down. Erase. And this is just kind of give it a little bit of that like sense of shadow and depth and that sort of thing. So now the joystick here, it has a little bit of lighting from this, and not, it's too far away from that, so it's going to be a little bit shaded like this. So I'm going to come up like that a little bit, and I think I need to make this thinner and less. Alright, cool. So come up like that maybe, and then really just blur this out. Just to give it a tiny little bit of that shading. I think it's real nice. I'm going to come up in here and go like this a bit. Close that up. Come in just like that. Get that darkened up. close this up, give it a little bit of light here, but mostly it's fine. Close that. And now I'm going to blow this up. Nice and careful so that I don't mess up the thing behind it. And I don't need it to be too blurry. This can be a nice bit of hard shadow going on here, just to give it a nice bit of contrast. So now these buttons, they're going to be closer to this thing, so we definitely don't want to make it too affected by this other thing. There should still be a little bit of affecting, I think. So I'm kind of going to go a little bit of shading here like that, but then stronger shadows coming from this other side here. Maybe not in that exact position. Maybe here. That's better. Alright, and then erase. Tiny shading here, but then stronger shading here. Erase. And then this one is just straight up shaded from this angle only. Nice shadows. Just kind of hanging out from where the red light is blocked. And erase. I almost feel like I need to blur these. These are too pronounced. These are too big. So okay. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. So I'm just gonna blur. Give it some nice blurring because it is too affected. I didn't need to make it go that hard. In fact, it's still just not quite right to me. I think maybe I need to fix these a little bit. I went too hard. Okay, let's try this. That's better. And I'll be able to make it even better with the next part of the lighting process. So now we have just a little bit of shading from here to make it clear that it's from the light. And then we have that. And now on this side, we're going to do something kind of like that a little bit. I'm just going to take this and first off, make a nice pronounced shadow here on this thing. Let's give a bit of a shadow down here. Actually, no, because the thing is on the ground, so I mean on the panel, so it should be shining from below. I almost didn't catch myself. That's good. And then since it is shining from below, I need to kind of close that up a little. Alright, so let's blow this out. That's good. So now let's do some shadow from this. It's kind of going this way, so let's just do a little bit of something here. I wasn't factoring these in. So now, since I didn't factor those in, I'm going to factor those in a little bit. We're going to give just a tiny little bit of affected light from these things as well. That's just going to make it really, really pop and really showcase this light the way it's supposed to be showcased. So now we're going to do some more shading over here with these nice big buttons, getting a little bit of shading from the light of these things. So that's pretty good. And now I want to do a bit of shading up here, I think. Alright, yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to... Let's try with just a shade. Let's try with just an airbrush. I'm going to come and just kind of really give a bit of a sort of a tube sort of like feel to this thing. I should have done this like before I did the rest of this. But oh, that's okay. I'm doing this on a new layer, so it's okay. It'll all work out. Alright, so now I'm just going to come in and quick erase some of this stuff in here, just to make sure that it doesn't interfere with the rest of this stuff. I think that's good. And I need to make this a blurry thing. Not that blurry. Let's try this. That's kind of better. Okay, that's fine. It's not exactly what I was thinking, but it's okay. The important thing is that it just adds a little bit of depth and color variation. So now I'm going to try to do something a little more specific with these buttons. So I'm going to take the pen sharp tool and just kind of make the buttons just have a tiny little bit more depth. Oh wait, that's actually a better line. I don't need it to be too close to the edge. I need it to be kind of in the middle here, so it's kind of like it's a pocket or an indentation. But at the same time, I don't want it to be too close to the middle. That's good. So now over here, I'm kind of going to go a little bit bigger maybe. Smaller and just kind of fix in some of these, put a little bit of shadow in there. I've already done this thing, so now for these two bigger buttons, let's just kind of give them a bit of an indent. Trying to be real nice and steady here. Real careful. I like that. And I'm going to come through and blur it out all just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Like just one clean pass. This is just going to make the buttons just look a tiny bit better. Okay, so that's good for the main shading part of it. So now I'm going to come through and do some lighting parts of it. So I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to do a dodge. And then I'm going to come in here and get kind of a cooler color. And right now I'm just going to scribble on this to just see what is good. I need something that's like nice and bright. But I'm still very, there we go. Oh, I need to be a little more saturated, I think that's what it is. But I want it to be redder. I don't know how I'm supposed to do that. I think that looks okay. Alright, that looks okay. Okay, so I've got my dodge on. So now I'm going to come through and just kind of just accent some of this stuff. And I don't have to be too careful with this because I'm gonna blur some of it out. So it's just to give it a nice little bit of pop. So yeah. So now I'm gonna go through and just kind of do all of this. So let's add some of this pop here. Give it a little bit of a sort of shine. Just to really kind of make everything just look real pretty. Let's add some pop up in here too. I'm gonna add it right here. It's kind of difficult to see when it's hidden by all this light, but that's okay. Let's kind of do something here. Stop it. I went on the other brush already. Alright, that's cool. Let's do a little bit of something here. Now let's come over and do something here. Some nice stuff here. That's just it's really gonna help sell the fact that we have all this red light here. It's gonna make it look actually like it's really affecting the things around it. So let's do another one of these things. In fact, let's double down on it. And then blur it out. Stop it. Just to give it that glow. Now we're going to come do it over here. Kind of just make it a little bit glowy here. And over here next. And just kind of blur that. And then let's do a tiny little one up here. Let's really blur this one. I'm on the wrong tool again. I keep doing that. I clicked on the right tool this time. There. And now finally we're going to do one more over here to kind of do the stars. Well, maybe not like one more, but we're going to kind of come over here. We're going to do some star glow kind of thing going on. Stop it. I keep on going on the wrong tool. And then just one last bit up here, but for the bit up here, I'm actually going to kind of go more like really kind of make it soft. Actually, that's too soft, and that makes it look too bright. So I need it to be smaller. Like we're just getting a nice little bit of stardust glow here. So I'm going to blur that out a little bit, just because it's a little bit rough, little rough. So I'm just going to kind of smooth it out a bit. Yeah, that's turning out pretty nice. So I think that's pretty good. I think we don't need to worry too much about the rest of this. Kind of, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Alright, so first I need to make sure I have all these on clippings so that they don't affect space. Oh, not that. That is fine by itself. This also does not need to be clipping. Alright. But then I do want to kind of put something on here to make it clear that it's a window. So what I'm going to do for that, I think, is I'm going to kind of go like this. Here. And then here. Now, let's try this one. Yeah, that's better. And there we go. Yeah, that's looking nice. I think that looks pretty cool. So it's still a cartoonish style, but it's nice. It's got a nice background. So I'm gonna put the flat colors back on. And there we have it. So next week I'm going to do the lighting and shading on the main characters. So I've got the background all in place. I got it all looking pretty good, I think. And so next week I'm going to do the lighting and shading for these characters. I might kind of play around a little bit with the positioning here. But I can do that later. I can do that next week. So right now, I've got the background all taken care of. And I'm thinking it looks pretty cool. Although honestly, I think I might actually make this go darker. Because I kind of want it to pop a little more. So let's see if I can make it kind of really just really pop here. And I might make this even a little bit darker as well. But then by contrast, I might try to make the dodge a little bit brighter. No, actually, I think that just making the background itself a little darker is good enough. And I think that's just going to make it look really cool. Like, maybe like the main lighting has been turned off or something. It'll look even better once I've got the main characters all shaded. So, yeah, I think that's looking pretty nice. Okay, so I'm going to save this. And that's going to be it for me on this live stream. For those of you watching the playback, I'm Mercury Addison. I'm a writer and an artist, and this has been an art exchange that I'm doing with my friend Do Whatever. Anyone who wants to join the live streams from now on, you can do that by becoming a member, a follower on my Ko-Fi membership tiers. $5 a month gets you access to my twice weekly live streams, as well as a free desktop set for your mobile and a wallpaper set for your mobile and desktop. It's also going to get you access to my webcomic pages. I've got the first 3 pages on Ko-Fi that anyone can see, but from now on I'm going to be posting my new pages for Ko-Fi subscribers only, and then once the full first chapter is out, I'm going to publish it all at once. So if you want early access to pages of my webcomic, you can check out my Ko-Fi membership tiers. And then I think there's something else that I have on there, but I don't remember what it is at the moment. But yeah, so if you're interested in supporting me, you can check out my Ko-Fi. Or if not, you can just follow my YouTube, and I'm going to be starting to post some videos here soon, other than my live streams. So, it's been fun, and bye!